What's up, guys? Welcome in. We'll be live at you at 6 minutes after. Did I tell you it would be 6 minutes after? I think I did. 4:06 Eastern, 1:06 Pacific. We'll be live at you on the radio broadcast. Did I tell you it would be 6 minutes after? I think I did. 4:06 Eastern, 1:06 Pacific. We'll be live. Yeah, that's a whole big difference on the mic. Did I tell you it would be 6 minutes after? I think I did. Okay, what I don't like is that echo. Yeah, that's a whole big difference on the mic. Okay, what I don't like is that echo. Okay.
This is Armed American Radio's Daily Defense.
Armed American Radio's Daily Defense, because they don't want me to. That's why I do it.
Presented by X Insurance. X Insurance. From the Sig Sauer Studios. On the Patriot Mobile Platinum microphone. Here is your host, the loudest conservative voice in America fighting the enemies of freedom, Mark Walters.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. We're rolling through the week already. It is a Tuesday here at the Patriot Mobile microphone, communication, and command center fired up. It's all being brought to you by X Insurance. Welcome into the 6 Hour Studios with me, Mark Walters here, filling your prescription for freedom today on dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of radio stations around the nation. Greg in Dallas, Texas, how you doing, my brother?
Not too bad.
Hey, so in honor of Oregon Firearms Federation fighting the fight out there, man, you know, and staying in lockstep solidarity with those guys, I got their cool hat on again. I feel for them.
Yeah.
Oh, good heavens. And Kevin Starrett out there.
Lines.
Oh, they are behind enemy lines so bad. Kevin Starrett and OFF, Oregon Firearms Federation, is just doing God's work out there, and they just don't get enough attention. So we'll bring them as much attention as we can get them today. If you're not a member of Oregon Firearms Federation, if you're listening on any of the stations in Oregon that have the show today, why aren't you? For crying out loud, join them. They need all the help they can get. You need all the help you can get, and you guys can work together to provide each other that back scratch that everybody needs. So we're on Facebook Live today, facebook.com/Armed American Radio, Greg, and you can tell them where to go and get on the chat and everything else. And other than that, we'll get after you do all that fun stuff. We'll go ahead and get cracking with Lee the Gun Rattle Williams.
All right. Well, to watch the show on YouTube and Rumble, to search for Armed American Radio with Mark Walters. On X, we're at AAR Mark. To join our live chat, download the Telegram messaging app, create your profile, and search for Armed American Radio Conversations.
Let's get cracking. What do you say? Let's do it.
it.
Lee the Gun Writer Williams, welcome in, my brother from another mother down in Sarasota, Florida. How you doing?
Oh, thank you, man. Busier than hell, and it's hot out. It's 90 degrees today.
Yeah, but it's that time of year in Florida, man. I love it. It's beautiful here, but it's not real hot. But it's hot. But it's you know, it's doable. I can do it. I'm looking forward to a long, hot, brutal summer. I absolutely am. Sweat like a pig for a few months, and then say, you know what? I can't wait for some fall weather and build a fire. You know. So we're there.
I hear you.
Hey, our pool's opening if you do neighborhood pools this weekend, and you know your pools are open year round for the most part. So anyway, makes me
They are.
makes me feel good to know that the pool's open. That just tells me summertime is here. So Lee, we got a bunch of stuff I want to cover with you today. And I'm really not even sure where to start. So you have a new piece out that, ladies and gentlemen, I'll just tell you now, you're going to hear it here right now today before it hits. Lee, this isn't publishing until when? Tomorrow?
Tomorrow morning early, yeah.
Okay, and you're going to be able to find it at Second Amendment Foundation. You're going to be able to find it at Substack. Give the Substack.
Thegunwriter.substack.com, saf.org, armedamericannews.com, you name it, it's going to be out there.
Yeah, it's more ATF shenanigans, ladies and gentlemen. But this is suppressor related. And I got to tell you, when I read this, I was a little confused. And I'm still a little confused about this. And I want your help here, because the first thing I did was I don't know, I guess I scratched my head and I thought, what's the big deal? That was my first reaction. I mean, law enforcement wanting suppressed rifles and suppressed pistols. Okay. And then I thought, well, wait a minute. Clue us in here. What's up with ATF? What's their newest gig here?
Well, ATF has been using this website, this private Facebook page called the ATF Association, which only allows current and former ATF members to join. And they outed the fact that they're getting new Huxwork Safety Company, which used to be called OSS Suppressors.
Yeah, that's right.
Suppressors for $1,200 to $1,300 a piece, according to the company's website. So I wanted to know why, and wanted to thank the agents for talking about stuff openly, since I don't have any access to the site. Some kind soul donated pages of what they talked about. The big thing for me is I approached the ATF, as I usually do on every story, and for the first time in more than a decade, they actually responded.
That's a shocker.
And they said, we can confirm, yeah, it is. We can confirm that suppressors were provided to qualifying agents in a criminal investigation, Occupational Series 1811, for health and safety due to the extensive training and quarterly firearms qualifications they must complete. For operational purposes, ATF does not comment on specific firearms used nor the number of firearms held, which says nothing.
All right, well, let me stop you. Let's dissect a little bit. I wrote that down when you were talking, and I've read it. I've got it in front of me. I read it right when you sent it to me earlier today. For health and safety. Okay. Isn't that why I want one, for my health and safety, so I don't blow my eardrums out? Isn't that why I want one?
It's a reason why everybody should want one. You should be able to get them at a 7-Eleven.
And who has to approve my application for one? What government organization?
That would be the ATF, Mark.
So is ATF, they're taking $1,200 to $1,300 of my taxpayer funds and your taxpayer funds, ladies and gentlemen, so they can buy all fun stuff. Are they having to pay themselves tax stamps to the U.S. Treasury? Do they, individual agents, have to get an approval?
Nope, they don't have to pay the couple $100, nor do they have to fill out any paperwork. They're just handed one.
So they don't have to get a trust or fill out anything at a kiosk, a silencer shop or anything like that, like I do?
Nope.
Ooh.
Nope, not
They
at
must
all.
be better than me.
Well, this comes at a time when I looked back at ATF's history in the story, March 19th of last year, when their operators hit Brian Malinowski's home in West Little Rock, killed him, scared the hell out of his wife. Remember, he was a 53-year-old airport executive director with no prior criminal history.
Okay, so maybe when they're breaking into someone's home in the morning at 3:30, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning, those suppressors will help?
Yeah, ask Mark Manley. They broke into his house. He had a gun in his hand until he realized he saw through the window that, oh, my God, those are federal agents. Ask Russell Fincher. They hit his home. Ask Peter Brennan. They hit him. Ask David Schifferle. They hit him. Or ask Patrick Tate Adoniak.
Well, I can't ask Malinowski. Of course, he's dead. And I can't ask anybody at Waco because they're all dead. And I can't go ask anybody at Ruby Ridge because they're all dead. But it looks like they want suppressors. Go ahead.
It comes at a time, bro, when, they're talking about taking away ATF's guns. And all these crazy bastards want to do is get more and get silencers and get suppressors and get custom ARs.
Okay, hold up again. Trump is cutting about $450+ million from their $1.6 billion budget, about 28%.
Right.
So this is really something they absolutely have to have. They just figured it out in May of 2025.
Yeah, it's going to drop their 2026 budget down to what it would be around what it was around 2016. And I think these guys will be lucky to be able to carry a sidearm. Yet it just shows you they all want to run around with machine guns and suppressors.
Well, because they're cool.
Makes me sick. Yeah, it makes me sick, quite frankly.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, everything you need to apply for and get their approval for, they have already. And I bet there's no agent in the ATF that if he were not in the, or she were not in the ATF, wouldn't qualify, right? Oh, I'm sure there is. I'm sure somebody slipped through the cracks.
Yeah.
Okay? All right? So, yeah, when I saw this, I scratched my head. I'm like, oh, hell, here they want all the fun toys that they want to charge me for and make me seek permission for and bow a knee and kiss the ring. Well, maybe we should just go be ATF agents. I'm old enough now that if they didn't hire me, I'd sue them for, age discrimination or something, right?
Well, yeah.
There's always
I
that.
look at the photo because I got a photo right off their Facebook page, and it shows them all standing on the line, shooting at targets indoors that are not moving. I train with my AR, I train with my handgun all the time. I'm constantly moving. And these guys are just standing there like it's day one. I love it.
Yeah, each one of them's in a different stance, too. I might want to point that out. It's kind of interesting. I would love to know what it is they're shooting. No, hey, we're getting ready to take a break, Lee. When we come back, we're going to continue the conversation. We'll wrap up this ATF gig, and then we'll move on to some other fun stuff because there is a lot going on, and hopefully we have enough time. I do want to go into Giffords on their X posts, formerly known as Twitter, and do it for you live because they have, really been unhinged lately. And what they've done is I used to be able to reply up until as late as last week. Not anymore. No, only if they like you and know who you are or tweeted you something individually or posted something to you, whatever you call it over there now, will you be allowed to reply? Because I guess the truth hurts. They don't like the responses that were coming in from people that they don't know. So let's just, keep it all one-sided. Armed American Radio's Daily Defense continues. We'll be right back after the break. Don't go away. Lee, the Gunwriter Williams, stays with us for the hour. What time is it?
The following segment of Armed American Radio's Daily Defense is being brought to you by Patriot Mobile. Visit patriotmobile.com/AAR and use the AAR promo code to get free activation today. Welcome back to the show.
Well, welcome back indeed. 6 Hour Studios fired up for you here. Mark Walters in front of the Patriot Mobile microphone at the Command Center. It's all brought to you by X Insurance. I'm holding up, if you're watching on your device, is a Patriot Mobile activated phone. You can have one too. Guys, please Support these businesses that support this show and support you and everything that you believe in. Just because Trump's in office doesn't mean it's going away. Trust me, we wouldn't have anything to talk about, and we've got more to talk about than we can fit in a day. I can promise you that, because they're nonstop. Patriot Mobile's got your back. Support them. They've also got really cool stuff coming. They've got new internet service. They've got the Patriot Mobile One, which I'm looking at right now, adding a second line with a second network. And what's cool about that is you move between, because they use all the towers of all the networks. So if you're somewhere that maybe, I don't know, your service is not that good, it will immediately shift to another tower that's better. So you don't have to worry about it. You've got literally wall-to-wall coverage. You've got 2 different phone numbers you can use. So really cool stuff. You do it all on one phone. Internet coming. They've got the little hotspots for you. Really cool stuff over there. I don't know about this. I'm just going to guess, but I wouldn't. Pretty soon they're going to have some type of TV stuff. Just the way it goes with telecommunications. PatriotMobile.com. And every time you activate a line, a portion of your bill goes to support Second Amendment causes, conservative causes, right to life causes, Christian causes, everything that you believe in, and everything they hate on the other side. That makes it a win-win all the way around. So make sure to check out patriotmobile.com/AAR, and you get a free month's activation. More about our partners coming up, but suffice to say, you can find them all. You know this at armedamericanradio.com. And I am wearing another cool Bud's Gun Shop shirt. Savage Arms over here. Gotta love Bud's Gun Shop. They're going to be with us for a long time. budsgunshop.com. Make sure to support them. Lee the Gunwriter Williams, welcome back, my brother.
Thank you, man. Good to be here.
Yeah, go ahead and wrap up that ATF gig for us if you would, because, we all hate the ATF, and we love to hate on the ATF because it's fun and we can, and, well, it's what we do.
Yeah, well, I think it's just part of their history. I hope that at some point President Trump has the time to lay into the ATF like he should, like we know he will. Until he does that, we're going to keep him coming.
Well, Burleson is now calling for a repeal of the ATF in its entirety. He's not backing off at all. The budget's being slashed by about 28%. And I'm going to tell you right now, Lee, I'll tell you this. I'll say this on the mic. I said this, it was Sunday or yesterday, I forget. But I'll tell you again. I just have an idea you're going to be hearing some very, very big news about the ATF in the very near future. It's not something that's going to happen overnight. I mean, it could be 2-3 months out. That's not really far away when you consider an agency of that size. But nonetheless, something's going to happen at the ATF. I can smell it. I can just smell it.
Well, I hope you're right.
Yeah. Plus, I heard something.
Right.
That's all I'll say.
More than just.
I heard something.
I hope it's more than just combining them. I hope it's more than just combining them with DEA or something like that. These guys need to get gone.
Yeah, I think it's bigger than that, honestly. Even though that wouldn't be a bad thing either, quite frankly. Look, I don't have a problem with law enforcement going after cartel members, taking guns, stealing guns, because all that does is feed the left's narrative against us. I have no problem with law enforcement going after those people and putting bad guys away. Bad guys, legitimate bad guys, need to be gonzo. It's that simple. Lock them up, throw away the key. Put them in Alcatraz, as far as I'm concerned, right? Don't give them visitors, and don't let them have honey buns.
The ATF won't do that.
No, the ATF won't do that.
The ATF won't do that.
Well, if they move into another organization that helps another organization do that, I have no problem with that. I don't. But them as an individual single entity, no, go away. That's my goal. Anyway, Burleson's on it. Will that happen? I don't know. I don't think it will go quite that far, but I think there's big news coming with ATF. I'll just leave it at that. And, we'll see if my prediction is right. All right, so let's go over to Illinois right now. Illinois court, Tom over at bearingarms.com is writing about Illinois court ignoring the Bruin decision and upholding the FOID requirement again. Okay, so this is going to be this is an ongoing fight, ladies and gentlemen. FOID cards, firearms owner identification card, having to get permission from the government to exercise your right to bear arms, and this means to buy a gun. Let me pay to get a background check to get a card so I can buy a gun. Yeah.
You go into a gun store in Illinois, you want to see a gun, they want your FOID card before they'll hand it to you.
Oh, think about that. I'm glad you brought that up. Let's dig a little deeper into that. Why does that matter? Well, because if I don't have a FOID card, I can't even look at a firearm because they can't sell it to me anyway. So you talk about my rights being infringed. I can't even go look at a gun. And this bothers me, and I know those of you who live in blue states that have to deal with this nonsense. I understand why you're happy when you get a FOID card. But it's not cool to have a FOID card in your wallet, okay? It's not. So if you get a FOID card, don't go out on any of the forums or chat places and go, man, got my FOID card today. Woohoo. Now, no, don't do that. Because it's not cool to have one. You should be pissed you have to have a FOID card. Don't act excited. It's just advice. Take it for whatever it's worth to you. Yeah, just don't act excited about that because you're basically being screwed royally by having to have that. So let's, this came from Truth About Guns. Let me read just a portion of this for you. A 3-judge panel of the Illinois 4th District Appellate Court, again, 3-judge, ruled on April 29th that the Illinois Firearms Owner Identification Card scheme required to purchase or possess a gun in the state is constitutional. How do you suppose, without even going any further, the Fourth Circuit can concoct that that's constitutional in a post-Bruin world, even a pre-Bruin world?
It's crazy. I don't get it. It's clearly FOIDs are invalidated by Bruin.
Well, FOIDs are invalidated by the Second Amendment, but you're right. The blue states don't care. But Bruin said, no. So this is going to be the next big battle. We've got to get that Fourth Circuit case out of Maryland, and we've got to get this. We've got to rid the nation. The court has got to look at this, the high court. The case was Gun Saves Life versus Kelly. 2 of the 3 judges on the court somehow managed to miss the point that there is no historical precedent, which is a Bruin requirement, ladies and gentlemen, the New York case, for being required to have a special permission card to purchase a firearm, a requirement set down by the 2022 Bruin decision. In the ruling on the case, Judge Thomas Harris seemed to indicate that some laws back during the founding bore a faint resemblance to the FOID requirement, so all is well with Illinois' restrictive scheme. Here's what he said. This is crazy, man. It really is laughable. You chuckling and you're throwing me off. I'm glad I wasn't sipping a Red Bull and you saying it. I would spit it all over the computer. In short, if we follow the guidance of Rahimi, that the law must comport with the principles underlying the Second Amendment, but that it, quote, need not be a dead ringer or a historical twin, we can glean a relevant principle from the loyalty oath statutes. The government may screen its citizens for entitlement to possess arms by having them sign a statement that they do not fit into a category of individuals whose possession of firearms would threaten the safety of the community. The FOID Act is an implementation of that principle. Now, we're taking a break. Chew on that one. When we come back, I'm going to read that again to you, and then Lee and I will get into it. Because, ladies and gentlemen, these guys, who was, Greg, maybe you know, who was the stretchy cartoon character way back in the day? Was that Gumby or Pokey or somebody like that?
Yeah, Gumby.
Gumby was the stretch, because that's what this cat is. I mean, this is just Gumby ruling all the way around. Armed American Radio's Daily Defense. We'll be back right after the break. See you on the flip side. Don't go away. We are now.
Daniel Defense firearms are guaranteed for life, trusted worldwide, and designed, engineered, and manufactured right here in America. Daniel Defense, freedom, passion, precision.
I had a Daniel Defense M4 on the range the other day. Love my Daniel Defense rifles. You will too if you pick one up. At the very least, please get on their email list, danieldefense.com. You get great emails over there. I've been reminding people about that for years. Really fun emails. Those and SIG are the two best that I get, because it just seems like they have new product coming out all the time. And you get it first when you're on the email list. It's really fun to see. So when I get their emails, I kind of save them, unless I have enough time. But I like to dig into those. I like to go into the meat of those emails and start clicking on all the stuff and seeing all the cool accessories, new guns, limited editions, the promotions that are going on over there. And whenever there's a really big promotion at any of them, we'll tell you about it. But great companies. Every single one of them. Make sure to check them out. And visit ammosquared.com. I got my Ammo Squared mail today that my payment went through. And tomorrow on garbage day at the ranch, I will get an email that says, "You've got ammo." And I love that. Call me whatever you want because of that. But I love it because it just seems like the days are clicking right by, which I don't like. But nonetheless, I am just stacking ammo over there every single week. And you can do the same thing. Get your ammo supply going. And you can do it for chump change. You can do it for $5. Dig into your couch once a week. You know what I mean? You got money in the couch. You know you do. Just dig a little deeper. Pull that vacuum cleaner out. Clean that filter out. You'll find some change. Spend it over at ammosquared.com. Spend it at Barrel Buddy, $14.98. Keep your guns clean because you're using all that ammo from Ammo Squared. It's a win-win situation all the way around. And, of course, you can pick up all the accessories you need at budsgunshop.com. Make sure to check out all of our partners. You can find them all at armedamericanradio.com. Lee the Gunwriter Williams, welcome back. I want to read that last statement again, okay? Then let's dig into this.
It makes total sense to me.
It makes total sense to read it again because it doesn't make any sense, right? So you have a judge. Now, let me just ask you a real basic question. Did Paul Revere need to get a FOID card?
Nobody should have, according to this life-changing paragraph here.
Yeah, I guess who signed off on him in the day? GW himself?
Yeah.
This is so stupid. Just even, I had cut the mic. How these, oh God, this stretch, man, the whole Gumby thing. But in short, we follow the guidance of Rahimi that the law must comport with the principles underlying the Second Amendment, but that it need not be a dead ringer or a historical twin. We can glean a relevant principle from the loyalty oath statutes. The government wouldn't.
That's the best part of it.
Pritzker would love for you to have to take a loyalty oath to him, wouldn't he? Oh, I hear all the lefties listening to the show out there right now are screaming about Trump. Trump requires everybody to be loyal. Guess what, guys? You lost. Trump's your president. Deal with it. Get over it. We're winning. You're losing. And the statistics bear that out, and so do the polls. The government may screen its citizens for entitlement to possess arms by having them sign a statement that they do not fit into a category of individuals whose possession of firearms would threaten the safety of the community. The FOID Act is an implementation of that principle.
Makes perfect sense.
Okay. You leave a talk radio host speechless. That's pretty bad because this is not a personal conversation that we're having, over non-FCC controlled airwaves. But I have to think that the judge's agenda on this panel is what weighs in here in order for them to believe what they just said. I don't know of any. It's kind of hard for me to articulate. I think, but you know where I'm going with that?
Yeah, I do. But the fact that they have to base everything on the historic loyalty oath statutes, I mean, oh my God, it's laughable. It's laughable.
Oh, let's get the. Oh God,
they're still using it.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. How's that working out for your gangbangers shootings in Chicago every day? I mean,
well, I know guns save life. I know several of the senior members of Gun Save Life there, and they're very squared away. They're very good and they're very strong.
Yeah.
They've got a hell of a following. It's a regional gun group, but it's going statewide. I wish them well.
Well, let's just give you the final weekend tally of, let's see, tally 2024 weekend. That's not the 2024. Let's go to the weekend progress. 3 shot and killed so far. Weekend progress. It's the 6th. Total shot 11 already. Year to date 110. Shot and wounded 422. Total shot 532. How's that working out for you, Chicago?
They need more loyalty oaths.
Okay. Speaking of gangbanging, let's shift gears. Let's go to Glendale, Arizona. And this happened after I talked to Quang Nguyen, Arizona State Representative, and he's of course their House Judiciary Chairman over there. But we have leaders now, Glendale, Arizona, calling for more gun policy change following a deadly Glendale shooting. Now, you need not look any further than what I'm about to read you. 3 people were killed and 5 others injured after multiple people opened fire in the parking lot outside El Camarón Gigante, and it's a steak restaurant. Police said the violence was an isolated incident tied to bad blood between the parties. Okay, so we need more gun policy changes because gangbangers are offing themselves. Tell me the law that they want in a policy shift. What policy shift could they imagine as they're all screaming, we've got to do something that would stop rival gangs from killing each other? Lee, take that away. I'll ask you that question and I'll accept whatever you tell me.
Well, having worked in a gang suppression unit when I was a policeman, let me tell you, there is no state law or federal law that will get these guys to stop shooting at each other. The best thing to do is to put them all in jail when you can. I'm so sick of these gangbang incidents. It's so sad.
Counting as mass shootings, they use them. They count them as mass shootings.
Yeah, it's clearly not. You've got one group of thugs and another group of thugs, and they show up at the same place, and they shoot it out because that's the way they were raised, and that's the way their parents were raised. It's sad. But the Giffords, which played a major role in this, wants to take our guns away. People who aren't in gangs and who may want them to protect themselves from a gang.
Well, hold on.
The whole thing is crazy.
In deference, let's be fair to Giffords. Obviously, if you take my guns away, I will have no desire to join a gang. This is the logic we're talking about. Here's what it says in AZ Central. A Glendale police spokesperson said the restaurant security kicked out several people that were fighting inside the venue where a dance party was taking place at a steak restaurant. That's kind of interesting. But several local and state officials, folks, said, and I quote, they wanted to see increased efforts to prevent gun violence. And, U.S. Rep. Yasmin Ansari, of course a Democrat from Arizona, issued a statement that morning after the shooting, which was yesterday, because that happened on the 4th, decrying the violence and calling for greater gun control. For too long, Americans have been forced to watch as gun violence affects every corner of our communities. Schools, movie theaters, places of worship, and local restaurants like El Camarón Gigante. A statement from yesterday, Cinco de Mayo. Actually, since Cinco de Mayo is my birthday, it's Cinco de Marco. Cinco de Marco. Common sense policy reform to regulate guns has broad bipartisan support. It's long past time we stand up and do something. There you go. Now, we have to do something. How about locking up the gangbangers? Yasmin, how about you consider that? But let alone, again, Lee, she doesn't offer one suggestion because there is none. It's just a matter of agenda. Ooh, here's another opportunity for attacking the rights of law-abiding Arizona residents. Good heavens. It never stops, ladies and gentlemen. We have one more segment left, Lee. When we come back with you, we're going to get ready to take a break right now. And when we do come back, let's go to Giffords. And I think I have one more story I want to cover with you. But if I do want to get to Giffords, let's go through some tweets because you mentioned Giffords played a major role here. They always do. Yeah. She's from Arizona. So is her husband that doesn't want to take your guns, but wants to take your guns. Armed American Radio's Daily Defense continues here in the 6 Hour Studios right after the break. Don't go away. Mics and cameras back up.
This segment of Armed American Radio's Daily Defense is being brought to you by Daniel Defense. Visit DanielDefense.com. Now, back to the show.
All right, all you deplorable patriots, we've got one more segment to go on a Tuesday for you here at the ranch. 6 Hour Studios fired up. Mark Walters bringing you the broadcast today and every day. You are on the Armed American Radio Network with me. Thanks for that. And to all of our affiliates around the nation, we appreciate you and we love you and we love all of our partners. We support them all. Please, ladies and gentlemen, support our partners. Support Mike Lindell. Need some pillows? Need some towels? Need anything? We all need that kind of stuff. Support Mike. Great prices, great bargains. MyPillow.com/AAR. Take advantage of them and support the people that support you, guys. We have to do that. We do have a couple new partners coming up in the very near future. I can't let that cat out of the bag yet, but when that's ready to pop, I will let you know. Suffice to say, they're all good. They wouldn't be here if they weren't. We love every one of our partners, and I know you do too. Please, 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 I'm begging you, go out of your way to support them, ladies and gentlemen. 17 years on the nation's airwaves. You want to stay with us? We need another 17 years. We need our partners, and we need you to support them. ArmedAmericanRadio.com. ArmedAmericanRadio.com. Don't forget that Emerson knife I tell you about every week, every day. EmersonKnives.com. I use it every single day. I've used it 3 times today, Greg. 3 times. And that's because 2 UPS packages and an Amazon package came, and they didn't have my name on them. And I didn't realize that until I slid them open. But that's cool because I use those knives for everything. Cutting boxes up to put in the garbage, breaking into stuff. EmersonKnives.com. They are the real deal, and they are famous in all the worst places for a reason, because they're the best. They're carried by our teams that go to all the bad places. EmersonKnives.com. Promo code AAR. Get 10% off. Please go out of your way. Lee the Gunwriter Williams, welcome back. Before I go to Giffords, I do want to talk briefly about because this story about this murdered judge by the sheriff
it's terrible.
in Kentucky is wild. And, you know, look, I'm fairly educated. I have a degree. And I can put words together. And I can read things, and it will come to mind. I can figure stuff out. But I'm having a really hard time figuring this out. Every time I read a story here, it's really not clear to me what happened. But what, ladies and gentlemen, in a nutshell, what happened is you had a Kentucky sheriff who apparently had a really good relationship with a judge. They'd known each other for years. In fact, they were out to lunch earlier in the day. And this judge let the sheriff into his office. They locked the door. They were having a conversation. It's on video. It doesn't seem to get real heated. They exchanged phones. The sheriff was looking at both of their phones, threw the phone back down on the desk, got up, pulled a gun, and killed the judge. Shot him right there in the chambers. And aggressively went after him in his chambers. Aggressively. Then, when he opened the door to leave, looked back down and fired another round to finish him off. So the guy is now claiming insanity, Lee. And you know, when I see that, look, he's got a first-degree murder charge, which is premeditation. But do you know anything about this case? Do you know any details? Because it's quite bizarre.
It is. The only thing I've heard about it is that the sheriff was saying he was bothered by an incident involving his daughter, and that he wasn't sleeping.
Yeah.
So he was up and hadn't slept. Well, you know, we've all had long days. Okay.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you walk into a judge's chambers and shoot him.
Yeah, I mean, I have trouble sleeping sometimes. That's just my personality, you know. Got a racing mind. I've never got up and said, I'm going to go kill somebody today. I didn't get any sleep last night. But this whole deal with his daughter, if you read, and guys, you can see it on Fox News today, the headline, and I encourage you to read it and see if you're like me and you just can't figure this out. Motive revealed in Kentucky sheriff's alleged killing of judge as body language expert analyzes new video. And it's quite telling. But I still am not sure what the motive is. It's not articulated real well. And the story seems to change every time I read something else about it. So it's interesting stuff. Let's go over to Twitter real quick, or X, formerly known as Twitter. And let's, in real time now, let me pull this up. All right, we're going to pull up Giffords on Twitter. And let's take a look at some tweets in real time, 1 hour ago. Now, I have not read these, so we're going to read them now. 2 years ago today, an armed white supremacist shot and killed 8 people and injured 7 others at an outlet mall in Allen, Texas. Among those killed were 2 young sisters, as well as Q and Cindy Cho, and their 3-year-old son, James. Their 6-year-old was injured and left to grieve his entire family. We can't let gun violence continue to devastate our families. We're holding the victim survivors and their loved ones in our hearts as we work to disarm hate and prevent these senseless tragedies. Lee, is there any gun-related issue here that you think would have worked?
None whatsoever.
Change in policy?
No, none. Sad deal, but, you know, this guy, this white supremacist, is in the can.
Yeah.
You're not going to taking away your guns and my guns. It's not going to help anybody.
Well,
But
sure
that's
it
what
is.
they want to do.
Well, that's because they want to take all guns. So if they take their theory is in their heads, if they take all guns, things like this won't happen in a nation that has hundreds of millions of guns already. 3 hours ago, Arizonans deserve action on gun violence now, capitalized. Oh, and here it is, the Glendale piece. This is a public health crisis that must be addressed before another deadly shooting devastates another community. So we just read you that story. We just talked about it. What's a public health crisis? Gangbanging? 2 rival gangs shooting at each other in a steak restaurant? Is that the health crisis? What's the health crisis here? Lee, help me.
There is none. Gangbangers do not want to encounter armed citizenry, who are usually better armed and better trained than these gangbangers. Trust me on this one, brother. The best deterrent to getting victimized by a gang member is a concealed firearm. They run, most of them, when somebody draws. So, yeah, another, almost said a bad word, another less than truthful post.
Well, most all of them are. They're very misleading. But you want to talk about health crisis? Let's see. If they're gangbanging, let's go down the rabbit hole. If they're gangbanging, they're probably involved in drugs. They're involved in. So the drugs are the health crisis. The gangbangers and their fentanyl and whatever they're selling is the health crisis. Not my guns, Gabby. You get it. Let's see. Giffords reposted a tweet from Mia Tretta. Don't know who that is. Taking down a memorial wall is an intentional act to erase the stories and lives stolen by gun violence. And I'm going to guess that they're talking about the Trump administration. We don't have time to dig into that nonsense. Giffords 4 hours ago. The Trump admin is gutting programs that fund school mental health resources and local nonprofits doing violence reduction work. These cuts will leave us all less safe and more vulnerable, especially those in black and brown communities. So who's playing the race card? Lee, they're playing the race card. And that's not what he's doing. He's giving it back to the states instead of taking federal funding, which is your tax dollars. He's putting it back in the hands of the states. The same thing he's doing with education. Don't fall for the lies. Lee, where can people read all your cool stuff?
They can go to thegunwriter.substack.com, armedamericannews.org, or saf.org. SAF is in Second Amendment Foundation, brother.
You are the real deal, Lee the Gun Writer. Hey, real quick, did you have fun with our great friend Tom Gresham on Sunday on Gun Talk?
I did.
It's
I
always
can
fun.
talk to him all day.
I know, he's great,
All
isn't
day
he?
long.
I love Tom. I love talking to him. He's such a great person. 30 years on the nation's airwaves, ladies and gentlemen. That's the real deal. And honestly, none of us would be here talking about it if it weren't for Tom Gresham breaking ground. He's the real deal. So if you're not listening to Gun Talk, you're doing yourself a disservice. You know what I'm saying? All right, Lee, thanks for being here, brother. I appreciate it very much on a Tuesday, your regular slot. Thanks for everything you do. The Gun Writer. Just look him up. Lee the Gun Writer Williams. You can find him all over the places he just mentioned, including Armed American News, Substack, and Second Amendment Foundation. Ladies and gentlemen, as I tell you every day, we're going to get up and do it again tomorrow because they don't want us talking about it. We'll expose whatever we can to fit into the hour. It's that simple. Remember, carry on, carry often, carry absolutely everywhere. Never, ever, ever leave your cave without your club. No self-respecting caveman would have ever been caught outside his cave without his club. Enjoy your day. Stay safe. We'll see you on the radio tomorrow on Garbage Day from the Ranch. All right, guys, thanks for being in here today. Appreciate it much. Appreciate it much. Always fun having Lee on the program. He's the real deal. Yeah, he's a real investigative journalist. He goes out there and he does the work himself, and he's great at what he does. We love him. I've been known Lee for a long time. Make sure you read everything that he writes. And here's one more plea for you. Please visit all of our partners, okay? Support them all. If you're looking for something related to cleaning your guns, Barrel Buddy's got you covered. If you're looking for emergency food supplies, support the Llewellyn family. I had a conversation with them today. All right? Those businesses need our help today. A lot of them are dealing with Chinese issues. We've got a new partner coming up that's been delayed because of the tariffs, but he understands why. And that's the cool part, because he knows it's going to get better and better and better for him. But nonetheless, ladies and gentlemen, these folks need your help, and it's real simple to do. So if you're buying any of the products that you see at Armed American Radio, buy it from them. okay, and support them. They're the ones that make the show possible every day. There's the shameless plug. But that's what we have to do for our partners. That's why we're partners, okay? All of us are in this together. Enjoy your day. Stay safe, guys. We'll see you from the ranch tomorrow on Garbage Day. And stay safe out there until we meet tomorrow on the radio.